Hey guys, so earlier I saw an article about Nintendo apparently cutting Switch 2 output because the US sales were weak, and I just know for a fact that the Nintendo YouTube scene this week is gonna be absolutely miserable. Like so many Doomer videos. They didn't have much fuel to go off of over the past few weeks other than the fact that there wasn't a Nintendo Direct, but this is just gonna make things so much worse. So I'm gonna talk about something positive for a change, and that is my final predictions for the Super Mario Galaxy movie. And I'm pretty excited about this movie. I'm not quite as hyped as I was for the first movie, because the novelty of a modern Mario movie kind of wore off a little bit with the first movie, but the Mario Galaxy movie, it's still something to be excited about. It's based on a very iconic Mario game that a lot of people, myself included, are now nostalgic for, so there's definitely a lot to look forward to here. They've already shown a lot in the trailers, and I've talked about them in the past, but there still are some things that I want to see, and I still think there's a lot of potential for some things to appear, so I'm going to discuss what I want to see and things that I think will appear in this movie in this video. It's not going to go super in-depth, just kind of throwing out some ideas of what I want to see. But first, I think we'll see more species from the Galaxy games. We've already seen ones like Whittles, Gearmos, Honeybees, Octoombas, and more, but I feel like there's still several that we haven't seen yet. I have a feeling that we'll see the Undergrunts, basically the Monty Mole slash Rocky Wrench-esque creatures, kind of like moles, and there's also a member called Major Burrows, so I think we'll at least see Major Burrows. Well, we might see like other Undergrunts. We've already seen that Monty Moles will be in the movie, but Undergrunts are technically a separate species. They are listed as a separate species on the Mario Wiki, and they do have a slightly different appearance, and we have seen various Mario species with similar designs that are like slightly different, like Pokies and Pokey heads and different things like that. So I have a feeling that Undergrunts could still appear in this movie. And I also feel like the Top Man tribe will appear as well. The Top Men were definitely pretty prevalent in Galaxy 1 and 2, at least in certain areas. And then there was also the boss Top Maniac as well. We really haven't seen the Top Man enemies in quite a while, so I think it would be pretty cool to see them in this movie. I also want to see the chimp from Galaxy 2 appear. I'm not sure where exactly he could appear. Maybe one of the characters has to complete a challenge in order to retrieve a certain item that the chimp has, or maybe he could be a background character in one of the scenes. I just think it would be cool for him to appear, since a lot of people like this character. And then finally, one of the Dino Piranhas, either Dino Piranha itself, or Fiery Dino Piranha, or Pee-wee Piranha, one of them. I feel like it's a fairly iconic boss from the Galaxy games, so I think it would be pretty cool to see one of the Dino Piranhas in that family. And then moving on, I kind of want to see a couple small references to the Mario RPGs. I don't think it will be anything major. Maybe just like a small background detail, like either a Geno doll sitting in the library. I know Square Enix owns Geno, but they did use Hello Happy Kingdom in one of the trailers, so I do think they might have gotten Square Enix's license to use some Super Mario RPG stuff in the movie. So there is a small chance. And then there could also be things like the map from Thousand Year Door hanging on a wall, or a Shroob as a background character, something small like that. I don't expect it to be like any major detail in the movie, or any like major plot point relating to the Mario RPGs, just like a little small background detail. Maybe even like a little reference or motif in one of the songs. I do think there will be at least one thing, because Nintendo did bring back the Mario RPGs in 2023 and 2024. They did kind of like a big push for them, and they did reference things like Mario Wonder, Peach Showtime, and other recent games in the Galaxy movie from what we've seen so far, so I think it would make sense to have a couple references to the RPGs. And with Rosalina, I don't think she'll get as much screen time as we hope, but I do think it will be more than Luigi in the first movie. Unfortunately, it seems like she's getting kidnapped by Bowser Jr., but I hope it's not for most of the movie. It seems like Lumily with the prison guard outfit might be in disguise and is breaking her out, so I kind of hope that's the case, and I hope that's kind of like halfway through the movie, not like directly towards the end, so there is like a bit of action with Rosalina and everything, and like more scenes with Rosalina, like kind of bonding with the other characters. So I really hope that they just don't lock her in jail for most of the movie like Luigi. So I definitely think she should get like a bit more screen time, but I don't think it's going to be as much as we hope. And I'm wondering, with Lumily, the reason for why they were nihilistic in the first movie was because they were away from Rosalina. Even though it was played as a joke in the first movie, this behavior in Lumos is actually now canon to the games, because in Lubba's storybook in the Switch version of Galaxy 2, Mary acts similarly to that when separated from Lu. So I do think it might be a detail in the Galaxy movie. We might see that play out, which is probably why Lumily would actually be breaking Rosalina out of jail, if that's the case. And then, with Rosalina's backstory, I do think it will be adapted, but it will be slightly changed, similar to Shadow's backstory in Sonic 3. I mean, they don't really have to tone anything down in this case. It's not necessarily something that would be a concern in a kid's movie, but just to fit the vibe of a movie being made by Illumination, I do feel like they'll change some details of it. I'm not sure how exactly, like, they'll handle Rosalina, like, losing her mother and everything, but I do think it will play out, like, in a somewhat similar way. Like, I have heard some things thrown around about Rosalina being Peach's sister, and I don't know about that, honestly. Like, even though there was, like, some apparent leak about it, I don't know if Nintendo would want to do that. Like, that seems like a major detail that Nintendo wouldn't exactly want to do in the movies. They don't really like to change things up too much. I mean, the movies are clearly a different continuity from the games, but that would be such a major shift from the games, and a lot of people are being exposed to Mario for the first time with these movies. I don't think Nintendo would exactly want to do that. And with the final fight of this movie and the ending, I feel like it will probably be against Fury Bowser, but in a setting similar to Galaxy 1's final boss. We've seen a Fury Bowser equivalent of Wonder Bowser Jr. in the trailers, and we've also seen Jr. create goop like Sunshine and Bowser's Fury with his paintbrush, so I think Fury Bowser would make quite a lot of sense, and it would be a nice change of pace from the first movie. Like, it would still be Bowser at the end, but like, a slightly different version of Bowser. I also think they're gonna adapt Galaxy 1's ending for the ending of this movie, with the black hole and the Lumas sacrificing themselves to reset the universe. That's such an iconic ending that I'd kind of be disappointed if they don't adapt that. I mean, it would kind of feel underwhelming if they did anything else. That's like if Sonic 3 didn't have Live and Learn in it. It's like something that they kinda have to commit to at this point. Because that, like, it was one of the reasons why I wanted the Galaxy movie. That ending is so cinematic. So I just really hope that plays out in this movie. And finally, with the post-credit scene, I think it will either be Wario or Daisy. I'm kind of split on it being either of them. I feel like Wario would be a little more exciting, honestly. I mean, don't get me wrong, Daisy's a great character, and I really want to see her in the movie universe, but I feel like Wario is just like a whole thing. They could definitely do a pretty exciting, like, post-credit scene with Wario. So I kind of hope it's Wario, but for what I think it will actually be, it's like, I think it's a 50-50 split between it either being Wario or Daisy. Who knows? It could be something completely different. Maybe it's Tatanga, maybe it's Count Bleck for a Super Paper Mario movie. Man, I'd love that, even though that's pretty unlikely. But it could be anything, but I think the most likely thing is definitely Wario or Daisy. And in terms of, like, other things, I think with the box office, it will likely hit 1 billion like the first movie. I feel like that's very likely. I mean, Mario is very popular. Like, Nintendo has definitely been continuing the output in terms of games and advertising. So I feel like the movie will definitely be a success. I feel like that's a given. And critic reviews, I have a feeling that they'll be a bit higher than the first movie, but not that much higher. Probably like a 70 to 75 on Rotten Tomatoes. That's kind of what I'm guessing. I'm thinking like the whole like, galaxy space theme might be a little more appealing to critics. Like, there's a bit more substance here than the first movie, a bit more to work off of. There will probably be a bit more of a story than the first movie, though I'm not expecting it to be incredible. So I think a 70 to 75 kind of makes sense. But the user score will be incredibly high, though. It's probably going to be like a 95, like it was for the first movie. I'm not sure how high it is now, but like I remember when the movie came out, it was like a 95 user score on Rotten Tomatoes. So I feel like it will definitely be similar for this. But anyways, those are kind of my predictions for the Galaxy movie, like my final definitive predictions. But let me know what you think down in the comments, and thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Blue Sky if you want to. Stay perky!